Hello and welcome to Chicken Bros. My name is David Heath.
And do you know how long I've been waiting for something like this?
Ah, okay. I see what you're doing.
He's been waiting. He's about to make a name for himself.
And I had to go into the TVA and pull out an anchor being, and we found the TheLupineSojourner again.
Hooray!
Hi.
And yes, if you couldn't tell by the picture here, we're here to talk about the newly released Deadpool and Wolverine. And oh my gosh, it was awesome.
Yes.
Best
I
Deadpool
really
movie
loved
ever.
Yeah, I would agree.
It is literally everything that we hoped for and more, I'd say.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it picks up kind of where the last one left off, with him using Cable's time slip machine, which also, I guess, lets him hop universes.
I thought it was just through time.
Yeah,
Right,
I did too, but he ended up in 616 somehow.
That's not
I
his
guess.
universe.
Yeah. I don't remember if that was like the canon universe all along or something, but yeah. Or the
It was
universe that he was in
all
originally. My bad.
along.
It's funny. He changes everything in time that we saw him doing Deadpool 2, and then we see him having a meeting with Happy Hogan about wanting to join the Avengers.
Gosh.
Which,
Yeah, awkward meeting.
a very awkward meeting. It's like, are we? Is the man not going to be joining us? At first, I thought he was talking about Stark, and then he mentioned cameos. I was like, oh, that man. Yeah, no,
Oh,
that
I thought it was Tony too. Was he talking about like Stan Lee or something?
Well, I think that Happy thought he meant Stark, because he was like, he doesn't really do this kind of
right.
thing anymore. And then Deadpool's like, what, cameos?
Okay, yeah. And I guess that could still work for Tony. Yeah, or RDJ, I guess.
Yeah.
Might be more who Deadpool was talking about.
And
And if Deadpool knows he's a comic book character, then he would know. He's the only person who knows that Stan Lee is no longer on the Earth.
maybe, probably.
Oh gosh, yeah, I didn't think about that.
Ugh.
Well, him,
That's kinda sad.
She-Hulk, and Squirrel Girl. So they all break. No, not Squirrel Girl. That makes me sad.
So,
But anyway,
Deadpool, not surprisingly, actually, doesn't get accepted because he says he needs it, and Happy tells them they don't do it because they need it, they do it because people need them.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was a cool way of putting it to him. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta find your place, like the place where you belong, and then go from there.
Right.
how come every single movie is Deadpool trying to find where he belongs? Like, every single movie.
Well, I mean, the first one was about him trying to go back to the way he was before, right? It wasn't necessarily about him finding where he belongs. It was just him wanting to beat cancer and then becoming a mutant and trying to, like, not look the way he does. And then
Right.
falling in love with Vanessa. The second one was about him trying to find his place and thought maybe it was with the X-Men, and then it wasn't. Lord.
Nor was it with Firefist, who was just suspiciously absent from this movie.
I don't think it's that suspicious. So yeah, he goes back to his universe, which is Earth 10005. I believe that's what it is. And it's like 6 years after the fact too, so it's like, wow, some time has passed. And he's working at a car realtor place with Peter.
Yeah.
He's like staple guns a wig to his head.
Gosh. Yeah, me and my sister were both like, oh gosh, like, 'cause it actually, like, shows him stapling it.
Yeah.
Ew.
And
Oh, that was gross.
that scene in the car with the family was really awkward.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Yeah, it was.
you should cuss at work unless cussing is part of the job.
Especially around little kids like that.
Yeah.
And Peter is like keeping the Deadpool suit in a locker, and Wade's like, "No, I'm putting that life behind me. I'm not Deadpool anymore."
I'm done with it. Yeah.
And so he goes home. It's his birthday, and everybody's there to surprise him. Vanessa, Negasonic, Yukio, Colossus,
Hi, Yukio.
Blind Owl, Dopender. And
Yeah.
I still love that the cocaine joke.
Yeah. That's the one thing Feige said is off limits.
They know all the slang terms, even White Girl Interrupted, even Force Bump. I think White Girl Interrupted is my favorite slang term for cocaine.
Yeah, most of those I hadn't heard of before, but I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense, I guess. That would be referencing cocaine.
So he's like, it's kind of what we saw in that first trailer of him being like, I'm so lucky to have all of you. He blows out the candles, and then there's a knock at the door, and it's the TVA. That whole, like, pegging's not new for me, friendo, but it is for Disney.
Oh my gosh, that whole scene.
I don't like you. Okay, good, let's do that with some
God.
hate. Come on. And then they pull him through the portal, rip off his wig.
Oh, man.
And then he meets this character we meet in this movie named Mr. Paradox, who...
Yeah.
He was an
It
interesting
was so
character.
funny. Yeah, I was like staring at him for the first like minute he was on screen. I was like, I know I've seen this actor somewhere. And then it suddenly clicked. I was like, oh, that's Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. That's the only thing I really know about him. It was so funny. I was like, who is that guy?
No wonder he was
But,
so uptight British.
This was my introduction to
he
this
wasn't- He wasn't
actor.
going for the British accent.
I had never seen him
he's
before.
funny.
He was really good, though.
Yeah, he was. I liked him.
So he tells Wade that this is his chance to matter, to belong to something, and then he shows him clips from the MCU, particularly peak MCU.
Yeah.
And it's funny, despite the fact that he's Canadian, he seems to be a real big Cap fan.
Yeah. That was
Well,
funny.
I think in the comics, Deadpool is a big Cap fan because it is Cap
Yeah,
who isn't a Cap.
I think I remember that.
I mean, I can't blame
Yeah.
him. Cap's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there is a Captain Canada, but
And he says that thing, it's like, your cinematic universe is about to change. I'm the Messiah.
Oh,
I
gosh.
am Marvel Jesus.
No.
Jesus.
And then
Which a lot of
Bringing
Christians
Dwayne
on
The
the
Rock
internet are
Johnson
very
into this.
pissed about.
I mean, yeah. And then this is my favorite fourth wall joke where he's like, hang on one second. Looks at the camera. Suck it, Fox. I'm going to Disneyland. Get fucked.
Headbutts the camera. I love that he headbutts the camera. Like, I love how confused everybody else was. So, like, what just happened?
Like, what did he
They
just
couldn't
do?
see the camera and stuff.
And then he goes to the he goes.
Paradox.
What?
Doesn't Paradox tell him like we're not saving your universe? We're adding you to the Prime universe. Your universe is gonna die.
Yeah, well, he goes to the tailor.
Logan
Gets
was the
he
anchor
gets-
being.
yeah. He goes to the tailor, gets suited up by that tailor got real handsy.
He really was. I was like, okay, this is getting a tad uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well,
It
for
was
us,
so
probably
funny.
not for wait.
Yeah, and I like that little joke with the side guy who works at the TVA. He's like, "Your buddy's ready to throw it all away from me. His clothes say middle management, but his eyes say fucky." And then yeah, Mr. Paradox tells him that because Wade's like, "I'm gonna go tell my friends they've been upgraded to disciples," and he's like, "Well, no, we're not saving your universe. It's getting destroyed because
It's gonna be destroyed anyway because the anchor being died. So the merciful thing to do is just kill it right now.
Yeah.
And they, for some reason, thought he would be on board with that. Just his universe just being destroyed in an instant. So that's kind of on them.
yeah." I like how Wade thought like he was the anchor being, and like,
Yeah.
like, good news, I didn't die. I was just going through a midlife crisis. I'm fine now. And he's like, no, it's not you, it's him. And they show clips from Logan.
Motherfucker!
And so, yeah,
Oh god.
Mr. Paradox tells
then
him
we go
about
back
the...
to the. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, what did you say?
I was just gonna say. Then it kind of catches back up to the intro scene.
Oh
Right.
god, that intro scene was awesome!
Oh, right, yeah, because the intro scene was him digging up Logan's corpse. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
after he breaks Paradox's nose and runs away because he doesn't want to have his universe die. So he's like, I'm just gonna go dig up Logan real quick and hope he's not dead, obviously. And then he's digging up the grave.
Yeah. I like how he's like, how are we going to do this without ruining Logan's legacy? I'll tell you, we're not.
Or not.
And
And
he sees the adamantium bones, and he's like, "Fuck!"
And then the TVA show up, and then he freaking takes them out using
with the bones, with Logan's bones, and sings "Bye Bye Bye" plays in the background.
Yeah.
And as an NSYNC fan, I approve. I completely approve.
I think that was like, I've heard that was like another joke at like Logan's expense, because in one of the X-Men movies, like when they're in a car and they're flipping through the stations, "Bye Bye Bye" starts playing, and like Logan like is like, "Ew, no," and he like changes the station.
It's so funny. Noah and I saw like a post on Instagram about this movie's soundtrack. He saw that because we knew Pyro was going to be in it. We thought, are they going to reference that with Pyro? Because he was the one that flipped it to that channel. And we were like,
hate long sound this "Bye Bye Bye."
we were like, oh my gosh, if they do that. But no, they turned out they used it in an even better way.
Yeah.
I think that scene really served as like it caught me back up to the character, because I had forgot to watch Deadpool 1 and 2 before I went to go see Deadpool and Wolverine, so I was like, yes, this is the style of humor that I'm in for.
This is what you're getting. This is Deadpool.
Yep.
Oh man.
Which is why you should never bring children to this movie, because people did.
No. I've seen like posts about like moms saying that they brought their kids to it and then had to leave like not even 5 minutes into the movie or whatever, and I'm like, that's on you.
That's what the rating is for.
What you thought Deadpool and Wolverine was, but it is not that kind of Marvel movie, honey.
And yeah, so he has the claws on his hands, and they get stuck in some guys that he's stabbing. And one guy with
two different guys. He's like, wait, Wolverining is hard.
And one guy's like, how dare you defile the court? Logan was a hero and the only thing worth a shit to come out of Canada. And he takes his katana, flicks it on the ground, and it goes up his head. He goes, "Get my country's name out of your freaking mouth."
Out of your fucking mouth.
Man, my sword.
As someone who, as someone who loves Canada, I didn't like that line either. I mean, hello, Alpha Flight.
That was such a slick move. Him flicking the sword on the ground and it bouncing up and hitting the guy's head.
It ricocheted.
Hey, it's Deadpool, buddy. So cool. It's what he does.
And so from there, he goes to different universes to try to find a suitable Logan replacement. And this was
awesome.
The first one he comes across is comic accurate height Logan. It's like
short Logan.
Like,
and as somebody who is 5'2" or 5'3", I was a little bit offended. I was like, I'm short next to a boss.
Yeah, I felt like even that was like pretty exaggerated, like short.
Yeah.
He's like, did you stick the landing there, little short king?
I kind of forgot that canonically Wolverine is short.
He's not that short, though.
I mean, I'm a 5'8". He's only a few inches shorter than me.
Yeah, I thought in the comics he was supposed to be like 5'2" or something.
Something like that.
I don't know what his canon height is.
And so he comes across a few other variants. Like one's like the glam rock Logan, in the like that really messed up alleyway where he's at that like the really long ass hair.
Yeah, with the missing hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, doesn't make sense to people, whatever.
And then there's Patch, who's sitting in a casino.
Ooh. Awesome. And then there's I don't know how to describe it, but it's that one suit Wolverine where he's got like the predominantly brown.
Yeah, the John Byrne suit. Like, you fought the Hulk in this suit. And then the Hulk is behind it. I'm Marvel Jesus, you dumb creature!
Yeah. Like, I gotta say, I was a little bit annoyed at how often Deadpool called himself Marvel Jesus. I was like, okay, buddy, like, the joke is getting old. But
yeah. Kind of beating a dead horse.
It's Deadpool. Yeah.
And
it was really funny when he like turns to the Hulk and he's like, Marvel Jesus, you dumb creature, and I will not be bullied.
He tried to pull a Loki, and it worked about as well as the first time. And every Logan starts attacking Deadpool, and then he gets to this one where he's like, you know, from behind you look kind of like Henry Cavill. Oh my gosh!
It's actually Henry Cavill as Logan.
The Cavalrine. And I love that line he had where like, we would treat you so much better than those shit fucks down the street. I think he was talking about DC.
Can you not? Sorry, that was my little brother.
Oh, sorry.
Dude. Sorry.
It's okay.
Gosh.
And so he ends up in this one universe where he sees a Logan that actually looks familiar. He's like, this one looks promising. And it's the one that we follow through this movie. And he's sitting at a bar. Kind of mirrors the first X-Men movie in a way, because he's sitting in a bar.
A little bit.
And
I think it's the same bar because, I don't know, the bartender gave that same vibe as the guy in X1 who was like, get out of my bar, you freak.
I don't know if it was the
Yeah.
same bar. I think it was just supposed to like mirror that scene. I don't even know if that was the same actor.
Yeah, it was shot similarly, so I think it was just a reference. But yeah, and you know, Logan's like, I just want one more drink and then I'm gonna leave, and Deadpool's like, hey buddy, we gotta go. Like, you're coming with me.
I like how he, Deadpool pointed out when that guy's like, you two are gonna fuck or fight, and then he's just like, are you gonna take that from him? Yeah. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
Every other Deadpool would have, or every other Wolverine would have hurt me by now, and also I'm on the tick, so upsy daisy. And he tries to pull out his claws, and they don't come out all the way.
Oh gosh, I can't remember the joke he made. It was
Whiskey
something
dick
about
of the
like,
claws.
yeah, very common in Wolverines over 50.
And so he chugs a whole thing of beer and then passes out.
Yeah, beer booze.
It's like, alright, I guess you'll have to do. Grabs him by the shirt collar. Whoa, look at those jammies. That only took 20 freaking years.
I was so happy when you see him in the suit. I was like, finally! Like, I knew he was gonna be in the suit. Like, I knew he was gonna be in the suit, but, like, it was just cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings him back to the TVA, and he's like, I got you your anchor bang. And Paradox is like, okay, first of all, I can't believe you thought you'd try to replace an anchor bang, and also, you brought me the worst Wolverine. What do you mean the worst?
Yeah.
This Wolverine let down his entire universe. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, well.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Or Logan's just laying on the ground listening to that.
Yeah. And
I felt so bad for this Logan, man.
yeah, he's been through the ringer, and that's saying something for Wolverines.
Yeah.
Like, even as far as Wolverines go, this guy, oh man.
So Deadpool threatens to tell his superiors about this, and that's when he realizes, like, oh, they don't know what you're doing down here. Oh, I got a black belt. He's like, I got a black belt in Karen.
Yeah, what did he say? I have a black belt in Karen.
Yeah. And so Paradox sends him and that Wolverine to the Void, and that's when they start freaking going at each other.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know how you guys felt about this, but like when they started fighting and Wolverine was like running on all fours, I was like, oh yes!
Yeah, that was really
happy.
cool.
A lot of the fight scenes, like not just this one, but a lot of the fight scenes were really fucking great.
Yeah.
I also love the 20th Century Fox thing in there. It's like, rest in peace.
Yeah.
We
Rest
did
in peace,
Deadpool. I don't know you shit.
And so Deadpool at one point tells him, like, if we can get back there, we can fix your universe. We can fix whatever happened. I kind of had a feeling he was giving him the bullshit. Just because it's Deadpool.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think that's how the TVA works, buddy.
And then some guys start showing up on like Mad Max looking cars.
Yeah. Well, no, we first see what's his face, Chris Evans, but I didn't know it was like I didn't recognize the voice at first, and so when Deadpool was like, we're gonna see the comfort food of superheroes, and like he thought it was Captain America.
Yeah,
I did too. The red and the blue kind of made me think, oh, it's a cat variant.
Yeah, and he's like, he's gonna say it, Avengers, and then he's like, flame on! What?
Flame on!
What?
Excuse me.
Yeah, it was Johnny Storm.
I was actually surprised.
My sister picked up on it instantly, but I was like, wait, what? I was like Deadpool. I was like, wait, oh, that's who that is.
And I mean, I never thought of this, I guess, but like when Johnny Storm started throwing fire at Pyro just kind of sucked it up, and was like, oh crap, that's, I guess Johnny's met his match, and then he falls and lands. Yep. He gets credit carded, as I say, usually. Like,
yeah.
I'm surprised he survived that fall, by the way, because he hit his head several times.
Yeah.
And then
Ode activates the magnet.
Yeah. Oh, that. But also he sliced off Sabretooth's head.
Oh yeah. And like, I love it when Deadpool's like, wait, no, time out. He's like pulling his swords out of Wolverine and like poaching him.
Baby knife.
Baby knife.
And they.
Oh gosh, that was so funny.
Those little containment things, those like round, like see-through
cages.
Yeah, those cages they were in. I thought that like I saw those in the trailer and thought maybe those were a reference to the 2003 Hulk movie, because there's something similar in those movies that's about that shape. But that never gets brought up in this movie. And
Right.
Johnny Storm...
I love that, like...
What?
I was just gonna say, like, I love how, you know, like, Deadpool holds up, like, Sabretooth's head, and he's like, I have the head of your queen, Furiosa! Just digging into that Mad Max aesthetic. Oh, that's
Also,
great.
it was
Anyway.
like it was kind of. I thought it was a reference to the execution of King Charles I, because when he holds up the head, he goes, "Behold, the head of my traitor," which is what was said reportedly when Charles I was beheaded.
Okay. I didn't catch that, so that's cool.
I'm a history geek. I know obscure history shit like that. It's why I don't have a girlfriend. Da-da-da-da-da.
And so they get taken to this big... I mean, it's a Ant-Man suit that was like...
It's Ant-Man's body, bro. It's like straight up his body.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's his whole body. I just know
Yeah.
the skull's in there.
Yeah.
And Deadpool looks at that and goes like, "Oh, Paul Rudd finally
I guess
aged."
Paul Rudd finally aged.
And then they meet
Oh,
the
man.
villain of this movie, Cassandra Nova.
Who is apparently the twin sister of Charles Xavier, which I did not know because I don't know that much about Charles Xavier.
Yeah,
Also,
I thought maybe I remembered something like that from the comics, but like I know so little about the comics. But it was kind of cool to see her. I liked her.
I thought she was pretty threatening when Deadpool started talking all that shit on Johnny. Like, "Oh yeah, Johnny told us all about you," and starts going into that whole thing. And then she just like rips his skin off.
Oh, I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Wolverine's like, "You idiot, you just got him killed!"
That was so brutal.
And she has...
Considering, you know, later stuff, but...
Yeah. She has this, like, weird power where she can, like... This is gonna sound really gross, but she sticks her fingers in somebody and, like, sees into their head.
Yeah. That's how she does what Professor X does. Like, he can just read your mind without having to touch you. But I guess Cassandra needs to, like, physically... And she has, like, some kind of phasing power to be able to do that, but...
I don't think she
can mess with
needs
your
to. I think she
brain,
just does it,
literally.
like, I don't think she needs to. I think she just does it to fuck with people. Like, Charles-
That could be it, yeah.
Charles just does it the way he does it because it's less invasive that way. She just does it. It's
Right.
like, ooh, I'm reading your mind, sucker. Ooh. Do you feel it? Do you feel that, Captain Compost?
It is really gross, like, seeing, like, the hand and the head. Like,
Yeah, it is disgusting.
And, you
Yeah.
know, she sees into Wade's mind and sees how him and Vanessa had split up. Because he wasn't, like...
Yeah.
I think he was, like, feeling, like... I think they said, like...
Directionless. Like,
Yeah. And, like, Vanessa said,
Yeah,
like,
and
"You will
she
never
was-
fucking matter." Like, what? Like, you'll never fucking matter? Like, she never said that! No, but I bet she thought it.
yeah. Yeah. That was kind of sad. I felt bad for Deadpool there.
Yeah. And then
But,
Eliath...
yeah, then she, like, very quickly deals with Wolverine.
Oh, yeah, freaking...
Sends him down into the ground.
Yeah, throws him around.
Yeah, and then I love it, like, Deadpool's like, wait, I don't want the smoke. I don't got no beef with you.
Yeah!
It's like, buddy.
Well, Wade, you got beef with everybody.
Or, everybody has beef with you.
True. And I think
Yeah,
Eliath shows
so-
up at that point, doesn't he?
Yeah. And they escape because of a leg of some kind of robot or something that had, whatchamacallit, had rockets, so they were able to use that to get away.
I thought it was a
And they were
I
going to
thought it
try
was
to
a
meet
set-
up with...
person.
It could have been, yeah. I wasn't really too sure what it was. But yeah, it was fun.
And I think from there
Yes, sir.
they meet Dogpool and Nicepool.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love Dogpool, man.
Yeah, Dogpool's cute.
It's like so ugly, it's cute.
Perfect canine representation of Wade Wilson, honestly.
Yes, honestly.
And
Yeah.
and Nicepool is
And
literally just
Nicepool,
Deadpool
oh
if
my
he was
God.
nice.
Yeah, it was literally, yeah.
I can break the fourth wall too. A proposal. What the fuck was that?
You think that's what I do?
And Nicepool very generously lends his car to them so they can get back and try to figure out what to do. And it's like
A Honda Civic.
It's fucking
Ugh.
Odyssey.
it's Honda Odyssey. When Honda realized that untreated chlamydia was making a comeback, they created the Odyssey to compete. Like sheesh,
Get in the fucking car.
that's roasting a car right there.
And
And so he has to like give up Dogpool. It's like no.
no. Yeah, and he's also really jealous of Nicepool's like gold-plated guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those guns are nice. Like I don't blame him.
Oh yeah. And so they start driving, and I love they were playing an Avril Lavigne song, and I don't know this for a fact, but I feel like they chose that just because Avril Lavigne's Canadian, like Canadian representation.
Maybe.
Just a random thought.
They could have chosen Celine Dion. She is the most popular solo artist out of Canada.
They did that in Deadpool 2, though.
That is
Yeah.
true. And they could use Anne Murray. I like Anne Murray.
And so Deadpool's
Yeah, and Deadpool accidentally like lets it slip that he doesn't actually know for sure that the TVA can fix Wolverine's world.
yeah.
And Wolverine gets pissed.
Yeah, he's like, you lied! I didn't lie! I made an educated wish! Wolverine's like,
That's an
what?
educated Oh gosh.
You like, and then Wolverine like lays into him like, "You're a joke.
Oh, yeah.
You're stuck." And it's like, "I'm gonna hit you now." Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, mother-
He was like, you couldn't even keep a relationship with a goddamn stripper. Like, oh gosh, that was brutal.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, Wolverine, like I know, my dude.
Like, you got nothing
I
to
know
say,
you have
mouth?
beef with him, but like, yeah. I just love like Deadpool like was dead silent, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. And then sure enough, they start fighting. That was so great.
And I
yeah.
I said this to
but
Noah.
The way it was shot.
Yeah, that didn't feel quite like a fight scene. That felt like something else.
It was shot like a fuck scene, straight up.
Yeah. And the fight they were playing, you're the
It was
one
really
and I want.
funny. Like, because I saw that, you know, The Greatest Show was going to be in the movie. So I was, like, looking forward to it. But then it was, like, literally 3 seconds as, like, I think Wolverine was banging Deadpool's head into the radio or vice versa.
Yeah.
And it was,
Yeah.
like, flicking through the stations. And it was like, ah! And then
Yeah.
that was all we got. And I was like, come on! Like, they could have just, like, left it there and had it be, like, the soundtrack or something just for fun.
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting it to only be 3 seconds of The Greatest Show.
Yeah, I figured Deadpool would make some sort of joke with that song.
Yeah. I was like, oh man.
But
I mean, he does make a couple of jokes about Hugh Jackman being in musicals or something.
yeah.
Or Wolverine looking like he could be in musicals or something.
Yeah, because I think
Something to do with Wolverine.
he made like a joke about like my friend here is going to do the entire third act of Music Man with no rehearsal.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something like that, yeah.
So Deadpool and Wolverine are
I
like,
take it back. Oh, the Odyssey fucks hard.
too bad you don't needle dick. And Wolverine's like, oh, we're just getting started, bub. And they start ripping into each other. There's
Yeah.
a little back car tag that says coexist.
And, like the blood splatters on it. I love that the implication is that they were fighting all night.
Oh yeah.
And then at some point, Wolverine just tied Deadpool up with a seatbelt and passes out. And then somebody gets in the car and drives them the rest of the way to these people that they were going to try to meet, like the resistance, basically, against Cassandra. And yeah, so they wake up and Deadpool's just drinking liquor that he found.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then when they wake up, they see that the resistance consists of a bunch of familiar faces.
Yeah.
First one we see is Jennifer
Elektra?
Garner as Elektra, which that was pretty cool. I didn't see that coming at all. And then this one I really didn't see coming at all. Wesley Snipes' Blade.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was so cool. And then a new face, technically, Channing Tatum as Gambit.
I wanted that role. He finally fucking got it.
Yeah, I didn't know like the history with Channing Tatum and Gambit and like how much he wanted to play Gambit until after I saw the movie. So I was very taken aback. I was like, why is Channing Tatum playing Gambit? But he did a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better than the guy from Origin, I'll tell you that right.
It's so funny because I remember like it was 2015 Comic-Con that they said that he was going to get a Gambit movie. And at this point, I knew who Channing Tatum was from, like, 21 Jump Street, Magic Mike, that kind of stuff. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see. And then it just never happened.
Right. It got, like, canceled or whatever.
Yeah, but seeing this movie, I mean, like, he did a good job. That Cajun accent was really good.
Oh, yeah. I love the jokes that he was like, I'm pretty sure I was just born in the void.
Yeah.
Like, nobody knows where he actually came from because he was never actually technically a thing before.
Where I come from is common courtesy to ask before you take a drink of my liquor.
Drink up someone's liquor.
It's like, good thing I don't give
a fuck.
Deadpool's like, so who brought us here? And then someone says, I did. And then X-23 walks in.
It's X-23, baby!
I was so happy to see my girl.
Yeah.
I'm a big Daphne Keane / X-23 fan, so I was happy to see her.
Also, Lupine, I don't know if I already told you this, but before when they released that last trailer and I said don't watch it because they reveal something, that's what they reveal is the fact that Laura's in it.
Ah.
Yeah, I was like...
So I was completely surprised.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
No problem. Because I watched that trailer not realizing they were going to show that and was like, okay, no, that's too much. I need to warn my friends.
Yeah. Yeah, like, that's the thing with trailers sometimes. Like, I hate it when they reveal too much about the plot or too many, like, surprises in the trailer. So I'm like, now I feel like I don't even need to see the movie because I know the big twists.
Yeah.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, I just won't watch trailers because of that.
Right.
But like
I'll watch
every
the
so
first
often,
one that they release.
Every so often, I will. Like sometimes David and I will do reactions of trailers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like y'all. I think both of you saw the thing that I did for the Deadpool Wolverine trailer when it was released. But yeah. Anyway, so they all start talking about whether or not they should go back and try to defeat Cassandra and get out of the void, or get Deadpool and Wolverine out of the void. And I love, like, Deadpool was like, I really hope we get Magneto. Like, it's the fourth person, or whatever, Magneto. Like, we need Magneto's helmet. And he's like,
he's dead.
Him. Fuck!
And she melted his helmet.
His helmet's got to be. She melted it. Fuck! We are boned!
And then they put together that the only thing that can block her powers is Juggernaut's helmet, but Juggernaut works for her, so they gotta take him out and then get the helmet on her.
Yeah.
So they form a resistance. Everybody's on board except Wolverine. He's like, you're all dead. And Deadpool's like, my God, read the room.
I love that. Everybody's like, let's fucking go. They're just like, you're all gonna die. My God. Read the room.
And then there's this... this scene, like, honestly brought me so close to tears where he's by the fire, Laura comes sit with him, and he basically tells her what happened the day that... So
like all the X-Men were killed
and he wasn't there.
He was at the bar, and he feels like he failed them, and he's just been in a drunken stupor ever since because he's so depressed, but he wears the suit to honor them.
I always thought that was like a nice little thing.
Yeah, that's the thing about Wolverine. Like, it may not look like he cares, but deep down, he does.
Yeah. That's kind of why, like, when I was creating an X-Men character, I wanted to give Wolverine, like, basically an adopted daughter that was a lot like him, so that she could handle what he goes through, and, like, you know, that's why I made her so similar to him, with, like, the healing factor and stuff, but yeah. Because I was like, he cares, damn it, and he deserves to have, like, a nice, one loyal person that sticks by him no matter what.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean,
he had that in the X-Men, but... My
X-Men
came around.
My X-Men OC is just a kid who was injected with Wolverine's DNA, so it has no actual ties to him. But when he joins the X-Men, he becomes Laura's older adopted brother.
Ah.
Also,
Nice.
he doesn't have he doesn't have 3 adamantium claws or 2. He has 1 long adamantium claw on each side, kind of like Origin's Deadpool, except it's a claw, not a katana.
Right.
And
That's cool.
so the Resistance makes their way back to the Ant-Man suit. And I love that line that they
In
had.
the Odyssey.
Yeah, and I love that line they had where they had the bazooka from Punisher. Deadpool's like, "Which Punisher? There's been like 5," and Blade's like, "There's only one Blade. There's only ever going to be one Blade." And Deadpool looks at the camera.
Deadpool looks at the camera. Who's gonna tell him?
I don't like you. Never did.
Oh yeah, that was a Blade Trinity joke. And so they get in. I love that slow-mo shot of them getting out, and then from the trunk out comes Wolverine.
Yeah. He's like, all right, fine.
Like, I'm here.
Yeah.
And
It was so funny because, like, I almost didn't even realize that Logan wasn't there. Like, I was so used to seeing him next to Deadpool, and then like the trunk opened, and I was legitimately like, who else is gonna come out of that car? And then I was like, oh, duh. But yeah, then we get this really cool fight scene where everybody's trying to fight off Cassandra's minions so that Deadpool and Wolverine can go confront Cassandra herself. That was really cool.
And she...
Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself.
Oh, yeah. I like that, too, like how the other heroes kind of stayed behind. Kind of like... It was kind of like them being like... Because, you know, Elektra says we'll get our ending. It's like, oh, it's like them paying homage to the Fox heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, I like
Just make sure you tell people what happened here today.
And so Deadpool and Wolverine go to confront Cassandra. Cassandra very easily tosses Deadpool aside like a piece of paper and goes 1-to-1 with Wolverine, getting inside his head this time.
Yeah.
And she sees the horrible truth.
Yeah. See, I was like a little bit confused because he said they were calling out to me and I walked away. I'm like, did he leave right at the start of the attack that killed the X-Men? I was a little bit confused, but I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have just left them in the middle of a fight to go drink.
No.
So, but in either way, it was still really sad because like you could, in the background, in Logan's mind, you could still hear like the cries for him. Like just constantly on loop.
Yeah.
And oh man, it was so sad.
Me personally, I don't know if this is correct, but I personally read that as like symbolically him being away from them despite the fact that they want him closer. I just thought that was meant to portray like his distancing from them and what it ended up being in the end.
Right. Got you. And their attempts to like get him to bond, get him to be closer to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that scene...
that could be part of it.
And that scene where he's, like, letting out his emotions to Cassandra... Hugh Jackman is so good. No one is going to play Wolverine like him, ever.
Really? No. No. It was cool to see Henry Cavill as Wolverine, but it just didn't feel right. I was like, no. Only Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
But,
It's like Kevin Conroy for me. It's like, yes, there are other people who have played Batman, but they've played Batman. Kevin Conroy is Batman. Other people can play Wolverine, but Hugh Jackman is Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's just the way I see it.
And just, you could tell how much Hugh Jackman loves the character, like how well he portrays him. That scene was so good. I felt so bad for Wolverine.
And
yeah, it was just basically, I like to think that like he did that, he let his guard down around Cassandra to stall for time.
Right.
Yeah.
Because in real time...
And possibly just because he needed to vent, he needed to let those emotions out.
Yeah, to someone who wouldn't make a smart joke about it.
No, yeah. Somebody who would actually like take it seriously, more or less. But yeah, in either event, then Deadpool gets the helmet from Laura and puts it on Cassandra, and that was cool.
Yeah.
But then Pyro shoots her, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't Pyro the one that shot her?
Yeah.
That was after like Deadpool and Wolverine were both like, okay, what do we do now?
Like, send us home. I can't send you home unless you take this thing off my head, and as soon as you do, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. I'm like, well, okay, we're stuck.
Yeah, and then Pyro comes and shoots
kind
her.
of makes the decision for them.
I like how he started talking and then Deadpool knocked him out. Or, no, Wolverine knocked him out. He's like, no, not everybody gets a speech.
Yeah. I did really like that moment where, Cassandra talks about how much Professor X would have loved Logan. And she's like, that must be really nice. And then Logan, had that moment of vulnerability where he was like, if he had known where you were and, had known about you, he would have torn apart heaven and earth to get you out of here and, take care of you. I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah.
And, and then that's kind of what makes her agree to let them out and stuff. So, yeah, that was cool. And then I thought that the sling ring was really interesting. I was like, I can't tell if that was a variant of Doctor Strange and he was just not on her level that she called him an amateur magician, or if she was just that cocky that she was just like, okay, whatever, it was just an amateur, even though it was a fully fledged Doctor Strange. But either
David
way,
has an
apparently
even darker theory about that.
Yeah, I told her about that theory.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that is interesting. You said it could have been like Ned, you thought, maybe in a dark way. That would be interesting.
Yeah, like a Ned variant who learned how to use a sling ring just a little bit better than the one we're following.
Yeah. That could be very interesting, but I'm pretty, the implication immediately to me was Doctor Strange.
Yeah, it probably was
Yeah.
just
Be it
Strange.
he somehow ended up, it was like he somehow ended up in the void before he really figured out all of the magic, or she was just so overpowered that she didn't view him as a threat.
Yeah.
Either way, that I saw someone point out, it almost looks like there's a time stone and a reality stone on that sling ring.
There is.
I don't know if that's real, but that was also interesting. It's like, oh, wow. Yeah, I hadn't really noticed in the movie.
I do. I just want to point out, that scene between Wolverine and Cassandra. I do love that because Deadpool had to take the helmet off for her to heal from the bullet wounds, and
Right.
Wolverine was telling him to take it off, and he said, "I'm wearing this suit, and that means a lot of things, but it mostly means that I'm an X-Man, and I know your brother, and as much as I want to kill you right now, he wouldn't let me stand here and watch you die. This is for Charles," and then
That's
takes
true.
off the helmet. I loved that.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, that is another really good, well-acted moment.
Him honoring Charles despite the fact, despite situations.
And then that's what starts. Yeah, then that's what starts the conversation. Like, oh, he really loved you, and you really loved him, and he's like, yeah, and if he knew about you and where you were, yeah.
And she does open a portal
Or-
back to Deadpool's universe and makes it interesting because Goliath is on his way. He's like, I'd say you got 4 seconds. And Deadpool's like, race you. And then it's like slow-mo running to the portal.
Yeah. That was funny.
I loved during the fight when Laura just went, "Adios, pendejo."
Oh yeah, when she sliced off Juggernaut's legs.
Yeah.
Adios, pendejo. I love that.
So
Yeah.
Deadpool and Wolverine end up back in Deadpool's universe. They go to confront
Yep.
Paradox in the subway tunnel. And I think that's when Cassandra talks to. She wakes up Pyro and figures out what Paradox is up to, and then ends up
Yeah.
there too. Brain fucks him and finds out about the
Yep.
Time Ripper.
And decides that she wants to eliminate all other universes so that there's nothing but the void, and then she can just rule everything.
Right. She had a line right there where she snapped away Deadpool and Wolverine. She's like, "Mommy and Daddy are having a conversation." That reminded me of in the first Spider-Man when Spidey's like, "Hey kiddo, let Mom and Dad talk for a minute, will you?"
Yeah.
Also, I should have said this earlier, but the actors they got to play Cassandra, they look a lot like James McAvoy to me.
She does, yeah.
I could see them being the twin of McAvoy's Xavier.
Yeah, they do.
Which I thought was really good casting.
Yeah.
I was like, they really nailed someone who could be James McAvoy's Professor X's twin.
Yeah. And then the sling ring portal is still open, and
Yep.
Deadpool sees Dogpool coming in, and
Dogpool.
yeah, "Come here, girl." And then Nice Pool comes
And
in.
he's like, yes, I finally get you. And then it was like, wait, no, sorry. Nice pool comes. Fuck.
Don't insult the intelligence of this adorable creature. She can decide for herself. Who do you want, girl? Original recipe or Van Milder over here? That's funny. I can break the fourth wall too. The proposal. What the fuck was that? Bitch, that's what you think I do?
The offense in Wade's voice. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I know.
And then,
Like, dude, World Girl can do better than you.
then Wolverine's like, I smell something. It's you. A lot of you. And then the Deadpool core start coming in.
Gosh, that was so funny.
I think one of the things people were very curious about when this movie was coming out was who was Ladypool. And I was like, I had a theory, and I ended up being wrong, which was, I hope it's just Ryan Reynolds' face CGI imposed on a female's body.
That would be funny. I've heard it was Blake Lively.
It is.
Wife,
It was.
Ryan Reynolds' wife.
Yep.
But yeah, and then Kid Pool was one of Ryan's kids.
Mm.
And so was Baby Pool.
Yeah.
And Cowboy Pool
I thought
was
that was
Matthew McConaughey.
I don't think he was like physically there. I think he just did the voice for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Matthew McConaughey.
And then Welsh Pool was a famous Welsh football player.
Okay, yeah.
There was another Deadpool variant. I don't know if he had a name, but he was played by Harry Holland, Tom Holland's brother.
Oh, fun. It's been like some English Deadpool or something.
And I like how Deadpool's like, hey guys, Deadpool Prime here. Look, I think we should just call it quits on the whole multiverse thing. It's just been miss after miss.
Miss after miss.
Let's just take the L and move on.
And then they all, for some reason, are like with Cassandra, and they're like, nope, you got to go through us if you want to go stop Cassandra. And you, Wolverine, pulling up the freaking cowl. I was so excited.
Yeah, that was
I
so
know!
awesome.
That was so good.
Like,
I was
the
Deadpool.
suit-
He was like, oh my shit, that looks amazing.
the suit was cool on its own, but the second
Right.
he pulls up the hood, I was like, oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Also-
Like, now you really are Wolverine, like completely Wolverine. It was amazing.
And Deadpool had to ruin it, being like, what's the wind resistance on those blowjob wings there? He's like,
Shut up.
he's like, sorry, I'm just a catty bitch when I'm jealous. Alright, let's do this. Maximum effort. And then they start wailing into the Deadpool core while Madonna's Like a Prayer starts playing.
Yeah. I love that Wolverine's like, I get to kill 100 yous? Fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
He's like, alright, maximum effort. Oh gosh.
And, that freaking...
Was this before or after Nice Pool got totally keep off?
Oh yeah, Nice Pool got,
I know.
like, wasted. Like, he got... Well, because Deadpool was using him as a human shield. I think he did that on purpose.
I know! It's like, you bitch! Like, why would you...
It's because he wanted that dog and those guns.
Yeah.
Also, he
that's
didn't
why
know
the
that Nice Pool
dog.
didn't have a healing factor.
Oh yeah.
Right, yeah, but still, it was like, you also have a healing factor, dumbass. Like, you didn't have to do that. But I love that moment. You know, he's like, how fast can you regenerate? Regenerate?
Generate.
Oh.
Still decides to just use him as a human shield. And then stops and, like, just lets him get shot repeatedly. Like, dude!
He said something like he'll be missed. Or it's like he died from getting murdered. You dumb fuck.
The only thing I have to remember him by are these gold-plated, whatever specific model is gun there. Bitch.
Oh, it's so like he and Deadpool and Wolverine start ripping into the Deadpool core. I don't know if you caught it, Lupine, but there's like a very subtle Stan Lee reference during that scene.
Oh yeah, I've heard someone. I saw someone pointing out it was like on the bus.
Yeah, it was like a
Wasn't
Stan Lee steamer ad, but it was Stan Lee steamer.
Yeah. That was great.
And they bust out from the back window. That slow-mo shot of them busting out from the bus was awesome.
That was awesome. And then Deadpool doesn't stick the landing.
It's like, the only thing I'm going to remember from that is that god awful dismount. And Baby Pool starts laughing. What are you laughing at, you little fucker?
What are you laughing at, you little fucker?
And then all the Deadpool start waking up like, oh crap, these ones regenerate.
I was like, yeah, you dumbass. Like, what other Deadpool wouldn't regenerate other than Nice Pool? Like, just assume that they all have healing factors.
And then,
Yeah.
and then freaking Peter rolls up in his own Deadpool suit, and then
Yeah.
everyone's like, "It's Peter!"
Peter!
It's Peter!
Like, you guys.
Every Deadpool has a Peter.
And I like that one Japanese Deadpool variant. It's like, "Peter-san, hey!"
Hey!
Yeah.
And so they go.
Enjoy my Peter!
That line sounds very double entendre-ish.
It really, I'm pretty sure he meant it that way.
Probably. So they go to deal with
Yeah, so-
Cassandra, who's like using the Time Ripper
Yeah.
to rip apart the universes, and Paradox explains to them that they have to create a chain in the bottom part of it, but
Yeah,
because it's
between
matter,
the matter and antimatter.
yeah, because it's matter and antimatter. If they do that, it'll kill them and like permanently. And it's like, oh crap!
Yeah.
So it's like, Deadpool at first says it's got to be me. Like, you didn't ask for this, man. I lied to you and just brought you here to help me.
Yeah.
Wolverine's like, you didn't lie. You made an educated wish. You got people to go back to. I have nobody. Let me do this.
Yeah. I thought that was a really nice moment.
Yeah.
And then Deadpool's like, psych!
Yeah. Headbutts him with the fire hydrant and locks the door.
Yep.
Keeps doing all those things by the window, like swimming, going downstairs.
Yeah. I was like, dude, come on. Like, you're running out of time here. But I get it. He was just scared to actually die, so he was stalling. But,
Yeah, and I love that line he had where Wolverine's like, you don't need to do this. He's like, I'm not doing it because I need it. I'm doing it because they do. It's like, oh, calling back to the beginning. It's like, it's not because they need to do it. It's because people need them.
Yeah.
I loved that.
But now you get it, buddy.
Like, Deadpool actually had an arc. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he starts pulling
You know,
one
he
end of
starts
it.
doing the bridge.
He starts pulling one end of it to the other, and he can't quite reach it. It's like, oh, time's running out. Like, oh, crap! And then Wolverine grabs him by the hand and sticks his claws in it, and his freaking suit explodes. And of course, Deadpool's like, nice.
And then,
Everyone-
like, the starts playing again.
I bet all the women in the theaters lost their damn mind seeing a shirtless Wolverine.
I mean,
he still looks great in his 50s. I mean, I gotta say, Hugh Jackman still keeps it all up and all going, man.
Hugh's jacked, man.
Hugh jacked, man.
Yep.
And
Yeah. Oh gosh, I really thought that like they were gonna die.
yeah,
I
they were,
did.
God
too.
dang, like this is it's such a cool emotional moment.
yeah.
And then-
I was building up all the. I literally cried during that scene. That was like, oh my gosh, this
Yeah.
is really heavy. And then the Time Ripper
Yeah.
explodes with Cassandra. And what's Hunter B-15 from the Loki series shows up and starts confronting Paradox about what's going on. And he's like, we lost
Paradox-
My men, they died bravely.
We lost my man.
They're the only reasons we're standing
trying to
here.
yell, like, they were heroic. He has risen, baby girl.
And then,
I think they chose Iris for that,
yeah.
that moment. And I don't want to
Yeah.
go around the corner. Turns out they're completely fine.
Yeah.
Because it was 2 healing factors, so they could share the burden and survive.
I love that line
funny.
Deadpool had where he was like, you're right, if it was just one of us, we'd have died. But you put a Deadpool and a Wolverine holding hands while listening to Madonna, undestructible motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, Madonna plays. Yeah.
I forget.
He also said something about Hugh Jackman's abs or whatever.
Yeah, because he was shirtless and,
I love
everyone's
that-
looking at him like, and he's like, okay, put your greasy tits away, man.
You're preening slut.
I also love when Peter shows up and like, he's like, this Deadpool's in this universe. He's with me. And like, who are you? I'm Peter Pool, but you can call me Peter, and I hope you do. And there's like a thing between him and Hunter B-15, and
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
not expecting that, but it was kind of funny.
Paradox is like, what the fuck is going on?
And he gets taken off to get punished or like judged or whatever for
Yeah.
what he was doing. Yeah.
And Hunter B-15 shows
And I like-
them that the universe is no longer deteriorating.
Because something to do with the Time Ripper like fixed it or something. I don't remember what the explanation was, but yay, it's not deteriorating anymore.
And Deadpool tries to see if... first of all, he says there are some people in the Void who... we wouldn't be here if it weren't for them, and the world kind of forgot about them. Can you help them? And then he also tries to see if she can help Wolverine's world like fix his past.
Yeah.
And she says his past is what made him the man that helped you today. There's nothing to fix. I liked that because it's like our past makes us who we are, and it's what we do with our future that matters.
Yeah, I did really like that line too.
It harkens back to a little, very well-known classic I like to call The Lion King, where Rafiki said, "The past can hurt, but the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it."
You can learn from it. Yeah.
And
That
probably
theme
doing
is
it
very
correct.
present in a lot of stories.
oh yeah,
Always a banger.
And Deadpool reunites with Dogpool again. He and Logan kind of start to split ways until he decides, I want you to meet my friends.
Yep.
Takes him to meet Blind Al and the friends. And also Laura's there. I guess they pulled her out from the void.
Yeah. I guess so. I'm not even sure why she was in the void to begin with.
Yeah.
But I guess they decided that she didn't need to be in there anymore. And...
I guess so.
Yeah.
But then Wade starts talking to Vanessa again, and he's like, even if you don't like me anymore, I did it for you. Which I guess kind of starts reigniting that spark. And I like that line he had at the very end where he's like, the people you save sometimes save you right back.
Aw, yeah. And I like that, like, Wolverine was kind of his wingman.
Yeah.
Just like, dude, I'll hold the dog, you talk to the girl.
Yeah.
That was cute.
And also, during the credits, there was, like, this really touching tribute to the Fox Marvel movies while playing Green Day.
Yeah. Like a bunch of,
behind the scenes of all the various Marvel movies.
Yeah.
All the various Fox Marvel movies. It was beautiful.
That was awesome. I haven't seen, like, I will confess, I haven't seen, like, the old Daredevil movie with Elektra. I hadn't seen Blade, but I knew enough about them to recognize the cameos and the significance of it.
Right.
But I might need to go. I'm gonna try to see if I can find them and watch them, because I do want to see them.
Blade, sure. Blade's a fun movie. Daredevil plain sucks.
I mean, I don't know. It's worth watching at least, anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
And then there's a very
all in all,
there's an end credit scene where Deadpool's like, I'm sick of these rumors with that saying that I got Johnny killed. Let's play the footage, and everything Deadpool said, Johnny said, and it was so weird hearing Chris Evans say all that shit.
Oh yeah, saying all the like curse words and like, you know, shit talking Cassandra. It was word for word what Deadpool had said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
like when he's going off on that.
He did get Johnny killed by repeating it.
That is true. He didn't need to repeat it.
He didn't need to repeat it, but at least it was accurate what he was saying.
Yeah, and I love that line he had. I love that line that Deadpool had when he's going off on that, where he's like, "Oh shit, girl, you crazy."
Yeah. Like, oh damn. Oh god.
But yeah, this movie was freaking fantastic.
Oh yeah.
And I
love it.
I don't know, but I feel like there's a future in the MCU for Deadpool and Wolverine.
There could be.
I mean, that image of Thor crying over Deadpool is any indication.
That one hasn't been paid off yet, and I want to know. Because, like, several times throughout the movie, they're like, I still got to figure out why Chris Hemsworth was crying. Or, like, you know, whenever Deadpool was knocked out or fell asleep, he would wake up and be like, Chris Hemsworth, Thor.
And, you know,
So
Ryan Reynolds and Chris Hemsworth have acknowledged on social media that there is a reason, so... I wonder what that could mean.
I know. I'm like, I want to know the build-up to that.
I guess we'll find out.
I guess so.
Although, I will say, this has nothing really to do with the movie, but there have been some questionable announcements recently regarding the MCU.
Oh, yeah?
Have you heard about this, Lupine? They recently just announced a certain casting of a certain character in the MCU.
Oh, yeah, RDJ, right?
Yeah, RDJ playing Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that.
I don't either.
Me either. Because
I'm like, okay.
My issue is that while I do agree that RDJ is a great actor, I don't know if Doom is the right role. But then again, I'm not a huge Fantastic Four Doctor Doom fan, so maybe I'm in the wrong.
Yeah. I'm willing to give it a shot.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know how to feel about it right now.
Right.
Yeah.
My thing about it,
I know people I know people are pissed because apparently Doom is supposed to be a certain ethnicity, so people are pissed that an actor of that ethnicity is not playing Doom.
Well,
interesting.
I mean, he is from a fictional country.
Well, yeah, but also according to his origin, he's also half Romani on his mom's side. So they're like, get a Romani actor to play him.
Oh, okay. I didn't actually know that about Doom.
I didn't either until I looked it up. Because I was like, why are you guys so pissed off about this? Because you know, sometimes it makes sense. Like, if you got a white guy to play T'Challa, that'd be fucking stupid.
Right.
But like,
Again, I'm thinking of
Doom,
RDJ
really?
from Tropic Thunder.
Oh
No,
god,
that would be bad.
Don't go
No,
full-
that would be bad. I'm joking, but like.
Don't go full R word, brother. Don't go full R word.
But my issue with it is that, like, on one hand, I want to believe that Kevin Feige knows what he's doing because he's gotten this far and made
Right.
so many awesome decisions for Marvel Studios. But on the other hand, it's going to be hard for me personally, to look at this and not see Robert Downey Jr. like Iron Man, you know, because like he made that role famous. He made that character an A-list Marvel character. He was like a B character before
Right.
that first movie.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
might be also why he's doing it. Because like, imagine the Avengers, imagine Spider-Man, imagine Morgan seeing Doctor Doom with Tony Stark's face.
Right. That would be interesting. Although I heard that in the comics, like Doctor Doom's whole thing is that he doesn't take off his helmet like at all. So it would have to
Well,
take. It would
he-
take
He
him
is.
beating him up enough that his helmet falls off for them to see his face.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting to see. You know, people in the universe where Tony died in Endgame, like 616. Those people's reaction to him as a villain and as Doctor Doom.
I did have a theory and I mentioned this to Noah about that, because he's going to be in the 5th and 6th Avengers movie, Doomsday and Secret Wars. And Secret Wars, the comic book storyline, is the storyline in which Spider-Man comes across the symbiote for the first time. And they have said that they're going to use the symbiote in the MCU. So I said, dude, imagine if Tom Holland's Spider-Man got the symbiote and was wailing on Doctor Doom, knocked off the mask, and saw RDJ staring back at him. It was like, oh crap.
Yeah, that would be really interesting. Yeah. It's like Doctor Doom does something that pisses off Spider-Man enough that he accepts the symbiote and then is he's beating up Doctor Doom. That would be really interesting.
That would.
Guess we're just gonna have to see where Kevin Feige takes it.
Guess so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm obviously giving this a
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Same.
Oh, yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna dock half a point just for all of the Marvel Jesus jokes. Like that was annoying for me because I am a Christian, but
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm
like
Catholic,
one of those
girl.
people
I
that's like
get it.
it ruined the movie. It blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
it was just a
Definitely.
little irritating.
Yeah.
It did get annoying, like, because for me personally, like, I don't mind a religious joke if it's not done in malice towards a Christian,
Right.
or like if it's tasteful, like, but like just repeating the same joke, any joke, over and over can get tiresome.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the first time, it was kind of funny. He's like, "Oh, I'm Marvel Jesus. Like I'm saving the MCU." I was like, "Okay, that's kind of funny." But then it was just like every single time, he's like, "I'm Marvel. Hi, I'm Marvel Jesus," and I was like, "Okay, shut up." But that's the only reason I'm docking half a point. Everything else was great.
Yeah.